welcome to the great Commonwealth of Virginia.
Yo, I ain't got it all. That means I'm barely home. Trailblazer, stay ballin' with vengeance. My arts is crafty dogs. Like I stop
It's really back when a jam-packed Lane Stadium is singing along to Enter Sandman.
my waddles, I did 'em up. Them dicks, I sent 'em up. My raps, I bit 'em up. For that, now stick 'em up. 10-4, good buddy. Tone got his money up. Worth million, still back.
Hey, just wanted to take a minute this morning, Marlon, to thank you and Mom and Dad. You guys have been awesome the entire time. College football has changed, obviously. There's a lot of new things going on, and there's a business aspect to it now like never before. But at the end of the day, this is about relationships, and you guys have been awesome from the beginning. Obviously, we've had some twists and turns and ups and downs, but you've stayed loyal the entire time. I know how proud you are, Coach. You've been a huge part of this as well. So I cannot tell you how much we appreciate your support and your commitment and really how you've handled this whole process. You chose Virginia Tech for the right reasons, and we're going to do some special things together. So unbelievable accomplishment. You've done everything the right way, and I know you're going to continue to do the right things for Virginia Tech and represent this place the right way. So congratulations. Mom, Dad, Coach, Marlon, you guys got anything you want to say?
I have one thing. First off, I want to thank y'all. I want to thank every staff member in there. Without y'all, none of this would be possible. And I thank y'all for even giving me the opportunity, even when I was committed to the other school coach. I thank you for looking at that skinny freshman and saying, I want him. So that really meant a lot to me. And I just thank you for giving me this opportunity.
I love how you're trying to connect with Virginia and the South, and you're using y'all, and you're from New Jersey. You're from northern New Jersey, so I appreciate you trying to connect with the people of Virginia right from the beginning. Mom, Dad, Coach?
I just feel that I'm leaving my son in good hands. So I'm passing him off to Virginia Tech.
My twin, you have my son. Go Hokies!
You're the better looking one. You're the better looking twin.
Just older, that's all.
Coach, I just want to thank you for everything, man. When you called me the other day, that meant the world to me, man. You have no idea how much that meant to me. And I couldn't be happier for Marlon. It's the best place in the world for him, knowing that he's going to be with you and under your guidance for the next 4 or 5 years. He'll be ready to take on the world. So can't thank you enough, Coach, and always here to support you.
Well, you can't have enough good people in your program and in your organization. You know that, Coach. He's been raised right by Mom and Dad, and he's been raised right as a football man by you. So we can't wait to get him here. So you guys enjoy the day. You've earned it. So enjoy today, have fun, celebrate, but then wake up tomorrow morning and get your ass to work because we got things to do. Got me? All right, brother. See you, man.
It is a day where dreams become reality. The ink becomes a part of history. National Signing Day officially underway here in Blacksburg, Virginia, as we welcome you in alongside the new head coach, James Franklin. Coach, this has been a wild couple of weeks for you guys so far. You hit the ground running and already putting together one of the best classes, not only in Virginia Tech's history, but around the ACC as well. So take us through what the last 2 weeks have been like for you and your staff.
Yeah, just really proud, right? This typically takes 2 years to put a class together. We're doing it in essentially 2 weeks and doing it with, a group of people, but not a coaching staff. Every single one of these recruits and their families said, who's the defense coordinator going to be? Who's the O-line coach going to be? Who's the receivers coach going to be? My answer was just trust me. Trust me. Last weekend, we had 17 recruits and their families on campus, had a really good administrative and recruiting staff around me, but I was the only coach. So I'm just really proud of what we were able to do to take my history, combine that with the tradition and pride and brand of Virginia Tech, and we're able to attract some of the best players across the country here. And most importantly, make a statement in the state of Virginia of how important it is going to be to represent your state.
Well, you mentioned a great point there at the end with the state of Virginia, keeping kids here in the state of Virginia. What was your message to those kids to stay home and become a part of the history building here?
Well, first of all, it goes back to when I was growing up and Virginia Tech was kicking butt and taking names and one of the most recognizable football brands in the country. And we got to reestablish that. We got to reestablish that on a national stage. But before you can worry about national stage, you got to do it here at home. You got to do it in your own state and in the region. So we'll build it that way. We're going to pay a ton of respect to the high school coaches in this state. We're going to pay a ton of respect and time to the high school players in this state as well. I think you'll also see there's going to be some possibilities in the transfer portal of players from the state of Virginia that want to come back home and be a part of what we're going to build here. But it's going to take a lot of hard work. And, you've been phenomenal. It's great reconnecting with you. But we're excited about what we have a chance to do here. It's going to take a lot of hard work, but one day at a time.
You mentioned the trust being part of the message to the recruits this go around with the unknown of coaches, who's going to be around, this, that, and the other. Aside from that trust factor, what was your message to these kids?
Well, I think part of it is we need you to come and be a foundational piece for our future, right? I'm still getting to know the players on the roster. I'm still getting to know the staff here. But most of these recruits, I've been recruiting for 2 years, so I know them. I know their families. I know the type of players they are. I know the type of students are. I know the type of people they are. So they're going to be a huge piece, not only this year from a culture perspective, but also moving forward after that. Just critical pieces in the community, critical pieces on the football field, and putting us in the best position to win. So come be a part of something, right? You can show up somewhere else that's already maybe established and built, or you can come and be a part of this process with your bare hands with me.
All right, let's dive into the weeds a little bit, get a little football crazy here for the folks watching so far today. Over 3,000 people watching live right now. I appreciate everybody tuning in, but let's dive into the weeds. What was the main focus from a football standpoint with this class?
Yeah, the reality, it wasn't like we came in saying, maybe you go into the draft in the NFL and you're saying, okay, we need defensive linemen, or we need wide receivers. It was more, we're in a position where we have to be able to get as much talent and depth into the program as we possibly can, and the right people that are going to be good fits for Virginia Tech. So it wasn't really specific to positions. How do we get as many really good players and people as we can here? Obviously, there's always a focal point up front on the offensive line and defensive line. Those positions take time to grow and develop. I always describe it's a man's game in there. There's a big difference between being 17 or 18 years old and 22 years old at defensive tackle or offensive guard. So making sure that we're always aggressive up front. So we got a chance to develop those guys for the future of our program. But, we were able to fortunately kind of get guys at every level, D-line, linebacker, and DB, O-line, quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end. And that's going to be important moving forward, specialists. So it worked out well, but we still got a lot of work to do.
Take us into the war room today. This has been a staple for you, where you Zoom the families, the prospect. Why is that such a critical part of the foundation for you on a day like today?
Well, it's just, there's a lot to celebrate, right? We're obviously celebrating the future of Virginia Tech football, but also just as important is this is one of the more special moments of these young men and their families' lives. Most of them have worked their entire life to get to this point. Most of these guys have been playing football for a very, very long time. And this is a huge moment that they can enjoy and take pride in and remember, and be celebrated. It's also, for most of them, it's the first opportunity for them to get in front the Virginia Tech fans and alumni and present themselves. So just a tremendous opportunity for them to welcome themselves into our community. And
for us to kind of put a cherry on top of their high school experience. And looking forward to stepping on campus and having fun and making plays in Lane Stadium.
Well, speaking of making plays in Lane Stadium, you've been very vocal about building this program from the high school level up. You're a strong believer in keeping that as a foundation to your coaching system. When you look at this class, they get the first opportunity to come in and be your first class at Virginia Tech. Was that a part of your message with them as you came in?
Yeah, I think that's part of it, right? We have seen some programs across the country that have been able to use the transfer portal to flip their roster fast. The challenge when doing that is if you're going to go into the transfer portal and take 40 players out of the transfer portal, most of those players will be seniors and they'll be gone again in the year. And if you're not careful, you're going to put yourself in year one where really moving forward, you're going to have no choice but to continue in the transfer portal every single year because your roster is going to constantly turn over. And that's difficult to sustain it that way. So we're trying to build this program like we have 2 previous times, build it for the long haul. That doesn't mean we're not going to be aggressive and try to be able to go make a run and be super aggressive next season. But we also want to make sure that we're building in a way that we get a chance to sustain this long term.
Probably a pretty interesting, bizarre last couple of weeks for you with being on campus, you're hosting official visits, the season's still going on. I'm curious, what did you learn about yourself during that process that led to the sculpting of this class?
Well, a couple weeks ago, I went to the Old Dominion Troy game because both of those head coaches were on my staff, and never had the opportunity to do that. I was with Coach Ronnie's wife in the parking lot tailgating, eating hot dogs. I've never tailgated in my life before. So that was interesting. And then, when we played Miami here 2 weeks ago, I'm on the sideline hanging out. I don't really know what to do. I don't know where to go. I've never done that before as well. I'm used to be coaching, supporting the guys, getting them mentally ready, physically ready, emotionally ready to play. So that was unusual. Then they took me up into the president's suite and I'm shaking donors' hands and politicians' hands and shaking hands and kissing babies and doing all that kind of stuff. I'm like, can I watch the game? But it's been good, right? I was able to do a little bit of TV, a little bit of radio. People say, have you relaxed and recharged the battery? I would not explain it that way whatsoever. But all these experiences are a blessing, and I'm appreciative to be here, and I'm excited about the future of the program. And adversity causes all of us to take a moment and look in the mirror, and it starts there. And now spending a lot of time looking at Virginia Tech in areas where I think we need to grow and where I think I can impact them, and excited about the opportunity.
What does the next couple of weeks look like for you guys? Obviously, you came in 2 weeks ago and hit the ground running to be able to build this class. What does the next progressive couple of weeks look like?
Well, continue. I've been meeting with players for the last couple of days on the current roster, so recruiting the current roster, getting to know the current roster, developing relationships with those guys. I got to hire a staff because now that's the next sprint, is that all these jobs that have been filled with head coaches, they're all going to be scrambling to hire their staff. That's going to be important as well as getting the best staff we possibly can here. A lot of guys that you'll know that we have history with. That's going to be really important. And then the next phase is going to be the transfer portal. We're not trying to replace anybody on the current roster. We're not trying to take anybody's jobs, but we have to create depth and talent and competition on our roster so that we have a legitimate 3 deep at every position, and guys feel that. And that's going to bring out the best in everybody.
I got to be honest, Coach, and I've done a number of these streams in the past on National Signing Day. You look like you haven't aged a blimp at all on that screen, and my hairline is gone.
I don't know if I agree with you, because this thing used to be dark.
That's true.
When I first got to that other school, Penn State, but it's It's definitely
That's
not
true.
anymore. When you're out of a bald head and people think it's by choice, it's not. It's gone south on me. You're still doing good.
Hanging on by a thread. Coach, appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you so much.
We're going to take a short break and be back to break down this signing class right on the other side.
This is Noah Chambers from the Virginia Tech football team. For some families, the holiday season is spent in a hospital room instead of at home. The Life Ring Foundation is partnering with Caribbean Clinic to bring new critical resources for the kids battling cancer so they can get the care they need and stay close to home. You can join the T-shirt club for as little as $20 a month and get an exclusive This Is Home t-shirt. Join me in supporting the Fighting Kids Cancer movement by going to liferingfoundation.org today.
And welcome back to Signing Day Live as we recap today's signing class. Just met with head coach James Franklin to break down the newest additions of the Virginia Tech football family. But we kicked the show off with an inside look at Marlon Bright, who was the first signee of today's additions. Marlon Bright, a product of New Jersey, 6'6", 280-pound offensive lineman, picked Virginia Tech over the likes of Duke, Florida State, Indiana, Maryland, Penn State, and Tennessee. We want to make sure we bring you guys the rest of the class so far today. If you are just catching up, wherever you may be watching from, let us know, whether that's the East Coast, Midwest, West Coast, maybe around the world. Let us know where you're watching from. We'll try to get some shout outs as we go along here in the signing class. So Marlon Bright, the first addition to the Virginia Tech football family here this morning. He's a 6'6", 280-pound offensive lineman from New Jersey. Right after that, one of the highly touted recruits in this class, Messiah Mickens. He's a 4-star consensus recruit across the board, 247 ESPN rivals, and he's a 5'10", 220-pound running back from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. He's a varsity letter winner and a 2-year team captain at Harrisburg High and led Harrisburg to a 13-1 record as a senior and a berth to the PIAA Class 6 state semifinals. Now get this stat right here. Nearly 4,000 career rushing yards, recorded 2 1,000-yard seasons during his freshman and junior seasons. And by the way, he was named the 2024 Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Pennsylvania. A big-time addition for Coach Franklin and his offense as we look forward to the future on that. Watching from the Netherlands. I don't know what time it is in the Netherlands. Got to be, 6 hours ahead, 7 hours ahead, something like that. 6:49 p.m., maybe 7:49 p.m., somewhere in that range. Appreciate you tuning in with us here this morning. Right after that, it was Roseberry Lubintis. Roseberry, big man right here, 6'5", 350-pound offensive lineman from the state of New Jersey. Picked Virginia Tech over the likes of Florida, Michigan State, Penn State, Syracuse, and West Virginia. Roseby was a 3-year varsity letter winner and senior captain at Timber Creek Regional High and ranked as the nation's 50th overall offensive tackle by 247 Sports and the number 2 overall prospect on the offensive line in the state of New Jersey, according to 247 Sports. After that, it was Davion Fat Rat Brown, 6'1", 195-pound wide receiver from Richmond, Virginia. He picked Virginia Tech over the likes of, get this list, Auburn, Duke, Florida State, Michigan, Louisville, Tennessee, USC, West Virginia, South Carolina. It goes on and on and on. Davion Brown going to be a big-time addition in that wide receiver core here at Virginia Tech. He was a 4-year varsity wide receiver and 2-time team captain for Trinity Episcopal School in the state of Virginia from Richmond, and he ranked as the 109th overall prospect on ESPN's Sports Center Next 300. Class of 2026. Davion Fat Rat Brown is his nickname. He's going to be a big-time addition for the Hokies inside Lane Stadium. Cam Johnson, a 6'4", 225-pound defensive lineman from Virginia Beach, Virginia. He's stuck with the Hokies throughout this entire process and is excited to become a part of Virginia Tech. Look at that. And now these shoots were done just a couple of weeks ago. You know, it's the weather is beautiful here this time of the year. It's definitely getting towards the winter conditions, but these guys out here doing their thing ahead of National Signing Day. He picked Virginia Tech over the likes of Duke, Michigan State, Pitt, and UVA, ranked as the nation's 127th overall edge rusher by 247 Sports and the 31st overall recruit in the state of Virginia. Pierce Petersham. 6'4", 210-pound tight end from Dodge Center, Minnesota. Midwest native up there in Minnesota. Picked Virginia Tech over the likes of Duke, Iowa, Iowa State, Kansas State, Minnesota, Northwestern, and Penn State. He's ranked a 4-star recruit according to ESPN and Rivals, 3-star by 247, and he was a varsity tight end and senior captain in Trinity High School, Dodge City, Minnesota, and ranked as the nation's 14th overall tight end by Rivals. Also the number 1 overall tight end in the state of Minnesota by 247 Sports. I believe we have one of the Zoom calls from one of those announcements here for you guys that we're going to play back that Coach Franklin talked about during his interview a few minutes ago. The importance of being able to do that with the prospect and the family. Obviously, that's a critical portion to National Signing Day and has been a staple for Coach Franklin for years now. Let's go back and pop into what that conversation was like.
Hey, it's been an unbelievable ride. It's been an unbelievable journey with you guys from the first time you came and visited, and we were trying to pry you out of a significant recruiting hotbed for Virginia Tech, has been for a long time, the state of Minnesota. We've been going there forever to get great players. But it's been big, and how you guys have handled this entire process has been impressive. Mom and Dad, you guys have been phenomenal every step of the way. Not only have you raised a great athlete, but more importantly, a better young man. Dad's getting emotional right now, which I love it. You're going to get me emotional. But this is what it's all about. You've worked so hard to make Mom and Dad proud. They have done a phenomenal job with you. And I don't take it lightly that you guys have the confidence in me to hand over your life's work and the foundation that you've built and allow us to build on it. Mom, I know you wanted him to go to college about 10 miles away from the house. So the fact that you're comfortable, the fact that you're comfortable enough to hand him over to us, we don't take that lightly.
Thank you.
We're gonna work so hard to help your son achieve his dreams. And I know he can do it here at Virginia Tech.
Thank you.
Sure.
Pierce, Mom, Dad, you guys got anything you want to say to not only all your friends and family and loved ones and people that have supported you, but also to Hokie Nation?
Go Hokies. So I got
what a shock. Yeah, man, a few words. Everybody's going to figure this out. That's why it was difficult to recruit you, because I talked to you, and that's about all I ever got out of you. So, man, a few words, but I love it. You're about action. You're about production. Great student, great player. You're about the right things. But no surprise that that's all you got to say. Mom and Dad?
Thank you very much for all you've done and will continue to do. So we appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you very much. And we appreciate everything you guys have done to make us feel comfortable. That's it.
No, Dad, keep talking, because you're the talker. Mom and Pierce won't say anything, so you got to talk.
Well, just again, thanks for, making us feel comfortable that he's going to be that far away, knowing he's in good hands with good people. Just makes it easier for us.
Yeah, I get it. It's going to be awesome. And, we're going to do everything we can to make his transition as smooth as possible. And then I know all these people in this room, as well as this entire community, are going to put our arms around him. And when you guys come to town, you're going to feel the love and support as well. As you know, it's not going to go easy. This is big time college football, and there's going to be ups and downs and twists and turns, but we're going to get through it together. And your son's going to be surrounded by love and support, just like you guys have done for the last 18 years. So appreciate you so much. Enjoy today. And then tomorrow, get up and get to work, because you're going to be here before you know it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Thank
See you.
you.
Have a great day.
Yeah, thank you.
Pierce Peter John, the tight end from Dodge City, Minnesota, 6'4", 210-pound. A great conversation there, obviously, between him and Coach Franklin as well as his family. All right, let's keep things going as we only got about 5 minutes left on this show. This is John Patrick Oates. Get a look at him right here. Obviously, a big-time playmaker for Virginia Tech, adding to the offensive side of the football. Mr. Oates is going to be a linebacker, not the offensive side of the football, defensive side. Going to be a big-time addition to that defensive side of the football. Maddox Cochran, he's a 6'6", 280-pound offensive lineman from the state of Virginia. Picked Virginia Tech over the likes of Florida State, Kentucky, Maryland, Virginia, and Wisconsin. He's a 3-year varsity captain and letter winner at Benedictine Prep. That is Maddox Cochran. Will Love, the brother of, you guessed it, Mr. John Love, kicker from Spartansburg, South Carolina. Consensus 3-star recruit across the board and ranks as the nation's #1 overall place kicker by 247 Sports. Mr. Will Love going to be a big-time factor for that Virginia Tech specialist group. Probably pretty cool for him and his brother to play together, too. Tyrell Simpson, product of North Carolina, 6'8", 365-pound offensive lineman, selected Virginia Tech over Florida, Kentucky, and Rutgers. He's a consensus 3-star recruit across the board and ranked as the nation's number 33rd overall recruit in the state of North Carolina, and the number 4 overall offensive lineman in North Carolina by 247 Sports. Garrett Witherington from the state of Alabama, 6'3", 285-pound defensive lineman, selected Virginia Tech over the likes of Miami, Mississippi State, Notre Dame, Penn State, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt. He's ranked as the nation's number 97 overall defensive lineman by Rivals. The next one is Troy Hune. People fired up about Mr. Hune. He's a quarterback, 6'4", 220 pounds from the state of California. Selected Virginia Tech over the likes of pretty much everybody in the country. Arizona, Arizona State, Florida State, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Texas, Texas A&M, and the list goes on and on. He's a 4-star recruit, according to ESPN and Rivals. He ranked as the number 198 overall ESPN prospect on SportsCenter's next 300 class of 2026. Troy Hune, a big-time addition for Virginia Tech. Tommy Wilder, 6'9", 295-pound offensive lineman from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Selected Virginia Tech over Alabama, Auburn, Duke, Florida, Georgia, Miami, Penn State, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas A&M, and was a consensus 4-star recruit across the board, ranked as the nation's number 2 overall lineman in the state of Virginia. Xavion Cleveland, his teammate from Green Run High School. That Green Run pipeline remains strong for Virginia Tech. 6'2", 280-pound defensive back from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Picked Virginia Tech over Duke, Syracuse, and Virginia. He's a consensus 3-star recruit across the board, a 2-year captain at Green Run High, and was ranked as the number 15th overall recruit in the state of Virginia. That's Xavion Cleveland. Matthew Lama from the state of Virginia. Virginia remains strong. Coach Franklin talked about it, the importance of Virginia kids staying home here to help build this program. Selected Virginia Tech over Georgia Tech, Indiana, Maryland, Michigan, Michigan State, North Carolina, Penn State, South Carolina, Syracuse, and several others. Consensus 3-star recruit across the board, according to 247 Sports, ESPN, and Rivals. That's Matthew Lama, 6'3", 215-pound linebacker. T-Ron Richardson rounding things out so far for the Hokies. Hokies not done yet, though. T-Ron, 6'3", 200-pound defensive lineman from Hopewell, Virginia. Picked Virginia Tech over the likes of Florida, Georgia, Oklahoma, Penn State, Auburn, South Carolina, Virginia, and several more. He's a consensus 3-star recruit across the board. Look at them moves right there in the tunnel. I know he's looking forward to Enter Sandman. He's a team captain as a senior in 2025 and tallied 71 tackles, 47 of those solo during his senior season. Ranked as the number 2 overall defensive lineman from Virginia. That's the haul so far for the Hokies. Christmas right around the corner. Christmas coming early for Virginia Tech here in Blacksburg, Virginia. As Coach Franklin mentioned, their turnaround within 2 weeks. The Hokies going from about 120-something in the recruiting rankings all the way up to, I believe, they're top 30, at least top 40, somewhere in that range at this point in time, and hopefully continuing to build here in the class of 2026. Appreciate everybody tuning in for this quick live feed. Got to see some behind-the-scenes action with Coach Franklin and what he discussed with those recruits, as well as heard from the head man himself right here on the broadcast and what the next couple of weeks may look like here in Blacksburg, Virginia. Obviously going to take a shift in focus from the high school recruiting class in order to build out his staff. Got to have coaches to coach these guys, right? All right, so that's going to look at what the next couple of weeks are going to look like here in Blacksburg. But for now, appreciate everybody tuning in here for the 2026 National Signing Day live stream. It was quick, it was efficient, and that's the recruiting class so far. Don't forget to tune in to Coach Franklin's press conference, which will be about 1 o'clock p.m. You can see that on Twitter, X, YouTube, and Facebook as well. So be sure to tune into that here as he talks to the local media about signing day and also, I'm sure, a plethora of other things. Appreciate all of you tuning in here on this fine Wednesday afternoon now, 12 o'clock, right here in Blacksburg, Virginia, wherever you may have been watching from. We got someone watching in the Netherlands. I'm sure it is about 6, 7 p.m. Josh Harvey right here says, let's go. Awesome news all around. Can't wait for the new era to start next fall. Place is going to be jumping inside Lane Stadium come that first game in the fall. That's going to do it for us here inside the Merriman Athletic Complex. Be sure to follow everything Triumph NIL, as well as all things Hokies football. Till next time, have a safe and pleasant day.
Let's go!
Welcome to the great Commonwealth of Virginia.
That means I'm very home. Trailblazer, stay ballin' with vengeance. My arts is crafty.
Football is really back when a jam-packed Lane Stadium is singing along to Entertainment.
My waddles, I did them up. Them beats, I sent them up. My rap shop bit them up. For that, now stick them up. 10-4, good buddy, tone.